on, Gearheads? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into the little daily whip, the 2015 Chevy Cruze. This thing's had some problems recently, so we're going to try and get a couple of those fixed this weekend. So let's go ahead and check out and see what's going on with this car. One thing I did do, brought this in last night, lifted it up. I sprayed all those exhaust bolts underneath and then on the top where the manifold is, just to kind of give us a little bit of overnight time to creep in there and hopefully make those come off a little easier, not snap off. So we'll see how that works out. So we could go ahead and set up, get our tunes cranking, and let's dive into this thing and we'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, we're shifting gears a little bit and going to dive in on the clutch coil. So got this kit off eBay. Looks like it's got the bolts, snap rings, some washers. We got the coil. So this is the magnetic drive for the pulley assembly. So everything there. Got this on eBay. Here's the part number. Hopefully this fits. Alright, so you might be wondering, you're diving into this job. Obviously first you want to troubleshoot and ensure that your coil is actually bad, which you can do on the car. You could get this connector hung down and stick your multimeter in there. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's how I identified this one was bad before I bought the parts and moved forward with this part of the project. So essentially we got our multimeter set up here and to read ohms, and this is basically just a big coil of wire that makes a magnetic field, and when you energize it with 12 volts, that magnetic field basically grabs the clutch and then makes the compressor or the pulley drive the compressor, and then when you take the power away it releases and the pulley just kind of slips on there. So we're going to stick our meter in here. You see there we're getting a reading of 252 kilo ohm. So basically this thing has super high resistance, so it's basically open. If we had a short, like the coil inside burned up and the windings were touching, then likely you'd see something like 0 ohms, meaning it's shorted, 0.2. So then you'd likely be either would be popping the fuse that's in that fuse panel for the AC clutch. If you keep seeing that pop, more than likely that coil is shorted. But you can also have a case where the coil basically has high resistance and it's open. So if you've identified yours as bad, this is where you can go ahead and procure your replacement clutch, and you could go ahead with the job that we're about to show you. So pulled the fender liner out, the wheel off, and we're just working in here. So it makes it super accessible to get in there. This little bolt here, you got a T30, so what I'm using here is my little Milwaukee quarter drive, and that busted it free, no problem. T30, and that fits right up in there like that, and then you can just kind of hold the clutch coil with your hand, and then I'll pull the bolt right out. That's pretty tough to get to from up top, so I would definitely do it this way. And then also there's snap rings in here you got to get to, which would be challenging doing them blind, so I definitely would do the fender well access way for this project for sure. Alright, so quick update for you guys here. We got the clutch off. Obviously you saw in the kind of time-lapse video, snap rings, everything. The only kind of weird thing after that is you got to pull this bottom bolt out of this bracket, loosen the top, and then rotate this bracket out of the way to get the wiring clip around, because it's tucked underneath that bracket. So that will prevent you from being able to take the wire harness out. So this part was the most challenging to remove. Once we got the bolt out with the little T30 on the small impact, this was, that spline's super tight on the shaft of the compressor. So basically sticking pry bars in, different angles, hammering, tapping them in until you basically get this separated as even as you can. Just kind of work it and then it'll come off. But this was extremely difficult to get apart. So I don't know if it's just because of how old this car is and the mileage on it, but that was definitely the hardest part of this. Then you just have a snap ring in here, then the pulley comes off, and then you'll have a snap ring in here holding the coil on, which is the bigger of the snap rings. And then it's just a pigtail you got to disconnect, and there's a little bolt with a bracket that holds the clip together so it doesn't come apart. Hey guys, just checking in with a little update for you guys. It's now Sunday, so we're moving on to day 2 with this project. It's nice to be set up in the home garage where I could just kind of work on this at my leisure. Could walk out into the garage, get a couple things done, go back inside, do some stuff with the family or whatever, not be committed to being over at the shop 10-15 minutes away from home and feel like I got to stay over there and knock out the whole project because I don't want to drive back and forth. So this is pretty sweet to be able to just kind of pop in and out and make a little progress here and there on the project. So here we are under the hood. We got obviously the oil cooler out, the turbo out, everything's all kind of cleaned up, ready to go. So we'll be putting the oil cooler back in first, and then gonna move on with the turbo, connect everything. We finished up the AC clutch last night, so everything went smooth with that. We got a little update for you with that video, and got everything laid out on the bench. Just show you guys that quick. Old AC clutch parts here. Got the oil cooler all resealed, so took that all apart, cleaned everything out, and then put all the new gaskets in it, so hopefully that will be good to go. Turbo cleaned up also, and I put 2 new coolant lines on there, so hopefully those will be leak free. The turbo does have a little bit of a crack where the wastegate flap seals, but I don't think that's going to affect operation. It should be fine. It still closes and it'll probably seal off okay. And then I checked the turbine here. This spins freely and also doesn't have any really axial or radial movement in the shaft. So this should be okay for service. This was replaced at the dealer, I think, when the car maybe had 40 or 50,000 miles on it, the turbo blue. So this one, now we're going on like 112,000 on the car. I think this is fine. Those cracks not that big of a deal. So we'll move on with that, and then we got all the other kind of parts and everything laid out, all the baggies of the hardware, so everything's organized. So we'll go ahead and restart the assembly process by doing the oil cooler first, piping for that, and then we'll move on with the turbo, cap pipe, all the other dressings here, and we'll get this thing back together and ready to commute to work with it tomorrow morning. Alright guys, well that's a wrap on this one. We got the Cruze back up and running. We got ice cold AC blowing. Looks like we got no leaks. I parked it in the garage overnight after we did a test run, and the garage floor was still clean, so it looks like we got all that squared away. So she is ready to go. Thanks for stopping by, checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next one.